Okay, I've gotten a few questions on percent change, and it's actually a lot easier than you think. The Math Antics video is another way to do things, but my percent over 100 is over of works for everything. So, for example, if I was talking about, I'm just going to make stuff up, a 25% decrease. If you just stick the 25 in here, without continuously rereading the question, you better label it decrease. So if I want to do a 25% decrease and I want to know what is the result when I started at 4, that would be my original total. And I don't know what this is. Okay, so one more time. This question could be, if I had 4 candy bars, what is the result after a 25% decrease? So you would solve this by cross multiplying and dividing by the coefficient, or maybe even the Purdy formula, and you would find out that 25% of 4 is 1. But that is not the answer to the question. The question was, what is the result when I do this decrease? So then you would then have to do 4 minus 1, and you are now left with 3 candy bars. Okay, and I'm skipping some of the work because the most important part is setting up the percent proportion and putting in the label. This is the change, the decrease. The decrease is 1, but the result after the decrease is 3. So what we had to do, we found the decrease and subtracted it later. Or instead of subtracting later, put the after decrease amount here. I always start at 100. Decrease means subtract. So when I start at 100 and subtract 25, I am left with 75%, which will come out when you do the rest of your math, which you have to show. Yeah, anything you put in the calculator goes on the paper. So you're going to write 75 times 4 equals 100 times x. And you can divide both sides by the coefficient, which is the number in front of x, which is 100. When you divide by 100, you're going to get the answer of 3, just like we got before. Okay? That is percent increase, decrease, change. It doesn't matter. It's the same idea. Okie dokies. So we'll do something slightly different. Let's say I had a question about error. I don't care. It involves percents. So I am just going to label the middle error since our topic is error. And what I'm going to do is, let's say, you're doing some kind of scientific experiment and you're measuring, and the real answer is 5 centimeters, but you got 4 centimeters. So you're off. You're wrong. You have some error. So since this is what we're talking about, and the question is, what is your percent error? What is your percent error? Well, how much is your error? How much are you off? If you're supposed to get 5 and you got 4, you're off by 1. And your error is based on the real answer. So it's original. Think of original when you do this, out of 5. Well, you can do the cross multiplying, you divide by the coefficient, or you just do your triangle for your change. Percent, that's going to come out 20%. You are 20% off. Okay, percent error. Now, there's one more section in the Delta Math which goes over the Purdy formula more. It says write expressions for what's happening. This is probably the most confusing section because it has less numbers. Anytime you have less numbers, it's more abstract. So I'm going to write my Purdy formula down. Purdy's great when you have the rate and the total. This is the percent. All right, so let's just say I am a super famous athlete and lots of people follow me on Twitter. Okay, so let's see, today is Wednesday. I have my normal amount of people, 100% of my people. Let's say I go and I tweet something incredibly stupid and I lose 25% of my followers. if I lose 25% of my followers, what percent is left? Okay, that would be 75%. Do you know how many people were following me? No, you don't. So we're going to make up something. I'm going to put T for total. Okay, so I always start at 100. I lost 25. I'm left with 75%. Okay, so I have 75% of. Of means times my original total. Okay, so this is an expression for how many followers I have now that 25% of my followers have left me due to my stupid comment. The next day, I apologize publicly and I get back 25% of the current followers. Emphasis on my new amount. This is a new amount. See my bar? My bar is a different size than it used to be. But this is my new total, my new original total. So this is my new 100%. If I get 25% more than I had yesterday, then I'm going to add in not the same size 25% because it's a different size bar, but 25% more than this. So if I start at 100, this is my new 100, and I'm increasing by 25, I am now at 125% of this new total. This was the original R times T. This is my new R times my new T. Okay? Yeah, it's confusing, but I'll go over it one more time. And then in Delta Math, they don't have everything all separated. They have it simplified. Simplifying means to, add or subtract or multiply, divide anything you can down to its simplest form. So you would want to put this in the calculator. And when you put that in the calculator, it's going to come out as a decimal. I don't have my calculator on me. Darn it, I'll use my phone. Okay, so it's not going to be what you think. I'm not back to the normal 100% because I lost it and then I gained 25% of a new number back. So this is how I talk while I'm doing work here. So 125% times the 75% of my original comes out to be 0.9375. 0.9375 of the total I started with on Wednesday before I said anything dumb. Okay, which if I was going to write that as a percent, that would be 93.75% of my original total. Not the 100 you probably thought from losing 25 and gaining 25 because they're based on different totals. This is the first total. This is the new total. Okay, so, and that is expressions, and that is as hard as it gets. So please make sure you're starting stuff early so you have time to ask questions and ask me for help in class, especially if you're getting stuff wrong a couple times. Call me over.